Okay, so I'm going to try to dive into the typical bandwagon of what is actually happening at the moment. So there was a comment with regards to Afcon that was made by Jimmy Carragher, and then also Fenerbahce and Galatasaray Intercontinental Derby, and also the aftermath of what happened after the Intercontinental Derby, Galatasaray calling Jose Mourinho racist. Okay, let's start from the first one. So I'm going to discuss about Jimmy Carragher. So Jimmy Carragher said on the Sky Sports news, Sky Sports pundits analysis with regards to Mohamed Salah being able to win the Ballon d'Or, and he said something in respect to, I think the problem is the fact that he's with Egypt, and he's probably not going to play in a major tournament, as such. Okay, so Jimmy Carragher was suggesting that Afcon isn't a major tournament, which has actually sparked a significant backlash. And also in that same clip, Michael Richard was trying to make corrections and also corrected him by saying Afcon is a major tournament, which Jimmy Carragher in return made a very snaring, disrespectful comment and reaction. Now, am I surprised by what Carragher did or what he has done? Not really. It's typical Western dogmatic approach filled with regards to what they actually know and believe, because what you know and what you believe are two different stuff. Whatever he said wasn't backed by fact. Maybe he's making an assertion based on Afcon of 1994. I'm too sure he didn't watch the last Afcon because it was one of the most interesting football tournaments I have watched in a long time. Same reason they would tell an artist who has sold 50 million venues, has 50 million followers in Africa or in South America or in Asia, that they're not popular enough. But I'm supposed to believe that someone who is in the UK with 5 million views and also 5 million followers on Instagram is much bigger than a Central Asian artist with 50 million followers and has sold a lot of stadium shows. So I think this is just the constant optics and rhetorics about what is and what is not. Now let's try to look at the last Afcon tournament by numbers. I'm a numbers person, so let's try to dive into the numbers, which was presented officially by CAF. So what I have here on the screen, you're going to see it. It says 3.6 billion views on TikTok. It doesn't really count so much, but then again, it shows how popular the tournament was. Commercial revenue by sponsorship. So commercial revenue increased by 26% from the last Afcon of 2021. Ticketing revenue also increased by 800,000 from the last Afcon. Okay, so digital, the last Afcon of 2021 had 350 million impressions on 1.1 billion, and the latest Afcon of 2023 had 2.2 billion views and 2.1 reaction. And then when you go to TV revenue increase, there was a 33% increase from the last Afcon to the 2023 Afcon. 33% is actually a massive jump. Okay, also there was a 65% increase by sponsorship. So the last Afcon in 2021 had 10 sponsors, and then the one of 2023 had 17%, has 17 sponsors. That's a 65% jump. Okay, let's also look at the total number of TV partners. So we had 68 numbers the last time, and it moved to 110, which is a massive jump. 41 FTA broadcasters, 90% increase in the content stream on all platforms, and also 171 territories we are able to show it, which is a 40% increase from the last one. Okay, also new markets which were raised. They had a 22 million viewership coming from Brazil, 8.5 million coming from India, 22 million coming from Italy, and 1 million coming from Russia. So in attendance, total in attendance for the 2023 Afcon, they had an increase of 1.2 million attendance for the Afcon. So I don't know how someone will look at these numbers and still consider it not to be a major tournament. Also, comparing the football that was played, with an exception of maybe Georgia and Turkey, the last European tournament was pretty boring. 785 passes with nothing to show for it. It's always the boring, slow football. Afcon was much exciting, much direct, much intriguing football. So you can't even compare the last Afcon with the last European tournament. Pedigree was all that the European tournament had in the last one. Okay, so I'm going to take the World Cup out because I think it's a world event. So I'm going to take it out. So I'm going to compare using Euro 2024, the Copa America 2024, and then the Afcon 2023. I'm going to be basing this based on milestone viewership, revenue generated, and attendance. Let's forget about pedigree and how do I put it? An antecedent. No, we're going to just work with the facts on ground based on the last tournaments that we have played. Okay, so the UEFA Euro Championship of 2024, the total accumulative viewership as recorded by UEFA was 5 billion viewers, and also revenue generated by UEFA, which they projected and also got, was $328 million in ticketing revenue, aligning with their pre-tournament target as well. Now, the final attendance, which is the game between Spain and England, brought in an estimated 81,000 spectators at the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. So this is for the UEFA European Championship. So that's the numbers we have. Now let's go to the Copa America of 2024. The total viewership of the tournament average was 1.4 million viewers across 32 matches on Fox, which is a 359 increase compared to the 21 edition. The annual revenue, which was posted by them as well, was 66 million, and then the final was attended by 81,000 spectators, which is the highest attendance for them. Now let's go to Afcon. For the Afcon, the total accumulated viewership for this tournament, the 2023, I'm not talking about 1994, the 2023 tournament was almost 1.5 billion viewers. So meaning this tournament actually got a very huge following. And also the total revenue was $109 million, which far exceeded that of the Copa America. The numbers also far exceeded that of Copa America, and the final was attended by almost 79,000+ people. So if you're comparing the numbers, Afcon actually outperformed the Copa America. And in entertainment, I think it performed the European tournament. So if Carragher is trying to make assertions based on 1994 or maybe 2000 or 2004, 2005, I understand him. But again, I do not take the opinions of people who think in Africa lions still run around. So how am I supposed to take that opinion serious? This is my take on the Afcon comments made by Jimmy Carragher.